From space, planet Earth looks like a blue and white spinning marble. But take a closer look. Now you can see oceans, continents, lakes, and rivers. Then cities, buildings, and lots of people. Geography is the study of Earth's physical features, weather and climates, natural resources, and populations. Geography is a way to understand people and places. So where on Earth are you? The continental United States stretches nearly 3,000 miles east to west and more than 1,500 miles north to south. On the west coast, you'll find sandy beaches. Moving eastward, you'll find deserts and snow-capped mountains. The center of the United States is home to the Great Plains, covered with grasses. The East Coast is home to jagged shorelines, marshy coastal regions, and more sandy beaches. The physical features of a region make up its terrain. How would you describe the terrain where you live? The region of the United States known as the South covers a large area of land. It is bordered by the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico. Some southern states do not have a coast. These are referred to as landlocked states. Situated between Maryland and Virginia is Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States. Washington is in the District of Columbia and is the only city in the continental United States that is not part of a state. The District of Columbia occupies a small area on the northeast bank of the Potomac River. Near the center of the city, you'll find the United States Capitol, the White House, and the Washington Monument. Many of America's important national monuments are in Washington, D.C. Memorials to wars and presidents remind Americans of our country's history and democratic tradition. Museums of the Smithsonian Institution preserve paintings and objects important to U.S. history. The South is also home to mountains. The Appalachian Mountains are the second largest mountain system in the United States. On this relief map, you can see how the Rocky Mountains in the west are larger than the Appalachians in the east. A relief map shows the differences in elevation, or height of land. Here, the mountains are shaded red and orange, indicating height, and the lowest elevations are shaded green. The Blue Ridge Mountains and the Smoky Mountains make up the southern part of the Appalachians. The Appalachians extend from Maine to Alabama, about 1,500 miles. During the fall, many people visit the Appalachian Trail to see the leaves change color and to glimpse wildlife. Between the Appalachians and the Atlantic coast are wide coastal plains with rich soil used for growing crops. The South's warmer weather and high rainfall each year create perfect conditions for farming. For many years, cotton was the main crop grown in the South, but today it is one of many. Texas and Oklahoma are home to another important natural resource, oil. The landscape in this part of the South is dotted with giant rigs drilling for oil. The The large area of the United States means that Americans experience different types of weather. If you live in the northern states, cold winters with heavy snowfall are in the forecast. If you live near the Everglades on the southern tip of Florida, winters will be mild, with temperatures around 60 degrees. Elevation, latitude, longitude, vegetation, and closeness to water all affect the climate and weather. Do you know the difference between weather and climate? Weather describes the atmosphere's temperature, humidity, wind, and pressure. Climate is a measure of the average weather patterns over many years. So weather is the condition of the atmosphere on a daily basis, and climate is what the weather is like over a long period of time. The South has a moderate climate, with hot summers and cold winters. Some regions, like Texas, have a dry climate. Others, like southern Florida, have a tropical climate with marshy swamplands. Farming was once the driving force of the South's economy. Today, Atlanta, Dallas, Nashville, Memphis, and the South's other large cities are centers of business, transportation, and the arts. The South covers a large area of the United States, from the Chesapeake Bay to the Gulf of Mexico. Its changing landscape includes beaches, caves, mountains, rivers, swamps, and coastal plains. So, if you are in a place where the summers are hot and the winters are not so cold, where the beach and the mountains are within driving distance, look around. You might be in the South.